Hello, and welcome to Quick Charge by Electrek, keeping you in the fast track with daily EV and green energy news. I'm Mikey G, and it's Saturday, October 31st. Only once in a blue moon do we see a full moon on Halloween night. Ooh, let's get to the spooky news. Ooh. Okay. Yesterday, Tesla started pushing a new software update, 2020.40.8.12. They pushed this to early access full self-driving beta owners, and they have been reporting a smoother driving experience with the capability of the AI. CEO Elon Musk took to Twitter to say that the update could reduce driver interventions. He said, quote, "We measure this primarily in intervention probability. This update addresses several issues, resulting in perhaps 1/3 fewer interventions. Many of the improvements consist of fixing silly bugs versus grand eureka moments. True for most beta releases in my experience." Musk went on to say that the automaker plans to push new updates every 5 to 10 days, leading to the wider release of the full self-driving beta in the US later this year. The CEO warns that errors will never reach complete zero. Speaking of that, a user-made drone video following a full self-driving beta performance shows a near miss with a parked car. The Tesla made a left turn to find another car parked at a 45-degree angle. Due to the angle of the parked car, it almost looked like the full self-driving Tesla aimed to follow it. Now, the user intervened, and the accident was avoided. It's a good reminder that the full self-driving beta is not fully self-driving. As noted by our sister site, Drone DJ, it looks like the drone did a better job of following than the car did. Tesla's latest data shows that it still holds an impressive 18% market share of the global electric car market. Other automakers have been able to achieve a fraction of Tesla's sales in the sector, as they mostly stuck to low-volume compliance cars. However, things are about to change fast, with more than a dozen new all-electric vehicle programs launching over the next 12 months alone, and many more to come in the next few years. At Electrek, we foresee Tesla's EV market share dropping, but it will be a smaller piece of a much, much larger pie. Tesla is apparently starting to test discounted rates at Supercharger stations in order to offset expensive peak demand charges. Several Tesla owners in California are reporting having received an in-app message that reads, in part, "Planning to travel this weekend? Avoid the rush and charge 9 cents per kilowatt hour before 9 a.m. and after 9 p.m. at select California Superchargers on October 31st and November 1st. This is actually a significant discount of less than 1/3 of the regular price per kilowatt hour at most Supercharger stations in California. The limited time of the offer leads one to believe that Tesla is actually just testing to see if it can incentivize people to use the Supercharger stations off the peak hours. We shall see if it works out and if Tesla continues the program. This episode of Quick Charge Podcast is brought to you by Electrify America, the nation's largest coast-to-coast charging station network for electric vehicles. No matter where you're heading, they have chargers nearby. And at charging speeds up to 350 kilowatts for capable electric vehicles, they'll help you get there fast. Find out what they're up to at electrifyamerica.com. That's electrifyamerica.com. Electrify America. Hello, freedom. As we get closer to the start of the Mustang Mach-E deliveries, Ford has released more details about the electric car's hands-free autonomous driving capability. Ford says that the technology will be in 100,000 of its vehicles within the first year of introduction, starting with the Mach-E and the new F-150. Ford writes, quote, "For Mustang Mach-E, it will come standard on the CA Route 1, Premium, and First Edition variants. It's an available package on the Select trim for $3,200 as part of the larger comfort and technology package, which includes features such as 360-degree camera, heated front seats, and heated steering wheel." Now, unfortunately, the feature will not be available at launch, but interestingly, the feature is going to take advantage of Ford's promised over-the-air software update capability in the Mach-E. Ford says that it will start pushing the update to the Mustang Mach-E and F-150 during the third quarter of 2021. GM has unveiled its 1977 Chevy K5 Blazer E converted to electric power with the upcoming E-Crate conversion kit using Chevy Bolt EV batteries. Last year, GM was talking about the system more as a concept, but now it seems that they're actually going to make a conversion kit available after high demand from prospective buyers. Russ Oblenis, Chevrolet Director of Engineering, Performance and Racing, commented, quote, "At SEMA 360, Chevrolet will showcase a 1977 K5 Blazer converted to all-electric propulsion. The K5 Blazer E is a functional proof of concept of the upcoming Electrek Connect and Cruise package Chevrolet Performance plans to sell in the second half of 2021. And in Electrek's green energy brief, oil giant Exxon announced yesterday that it will cut 1,900 U.S. employees and reduce its workforce by as much as 15%, which is around 14,000 people in total. Exxon this month earlier reported that it was cutting 1,600 positions in Europe through the end of 2021. This is due to the pandemic, the lack of demand for oil, and the transition into green energy. According to a major new report from the Environmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, 22 leading experts from around the world held an urgent vital workshop about connections between the degradation of nature and increasing pandemic risks. The resulting report, which actually you can find on our website, states that the future pandemics will do more damage than COVID-19 unless we reduce human activities that drive the loss of biodiversity. A new report called Aligning Stimulus with Energy Transformation has modeled scenarios where key G20 countries focus their entire current stimulus packages for increasing green economic recovery. For example, in the U.S., if all the current stimulus money going towards fossil fuels, which is $72 billion consequently, if all of that was allocated to advance green energy, the country could achieve more than 100 gigawatts of new capacity. And it could also result in over 500,000 new green energy jobs, a 175% more new jobs than if it was focused on fossil fuels. And now for the spooky part of the news, political commentary. But in all seriousness, all of us at Electrek contributed to an opinion piece in which our team supported a particular presidential candidate. Maybe you can read between the lines to figure out who that is. Michelle Lewis writes, quote, "Joe Biden got my vote because it's really quite simple. He has a plan to tackle climate change, and Donald Trump has nothing." Fred Lambert writes, quote, "Based on everything we know about Trump and Biden, the former does not have a plan to accelerate this transition, while the latter does." Jameson Dow writes, quote, "There is only one serious candidate to vote for. That candidate is Joe Biden. It's that simple." Ryan Kovach writes, quote, "To our U.S. readers, make sure that you know what you're voting for this election. Blue is the first step to making America green." Ben Lovejoy writes, quote, "There are times when two political parties might offer competing solutions to the same problem. That is not the case in this election. One party offers policies designed to address the problem. The other denies that the problem exists." And Micah Toll from Electrek's personal mobility coverage writes, quote, "This election is about so many things, but the environment is one that should be at the forefront of our minds. For this reason, among others, I voted for Joe Biden." Seth Weintraub writes, quote, "Readers of the site know where we stand on environmental issues and global warming in particular. Joe Biden is the no-brainer choice there, obviously." And myself, Mikey G., I submitted my contribution in audio form. You can check out the full article with probably 100 comments by now on our site, electrek.co. Thanks for watching Quick Charge by Electrek. And now I'm going to crawl back to the spooky catacombs for eternal sleep.